Varoujan Movsesian
Thank you for Deacon for asking me to speak today. Today, as you all know, is the Western celebration of Christmas, and we all are familiar with the story of Christmas. Otherwise, we wouldn't be here. I'm going to speak for a few minutes about another holiday that takes place tomorrow. It's the Feast of Saint Stephen, who was remembered as the patron saint of deacons. Deacon asked me to speak on my experience as a deacon, so I'd like to do that in light of today being Christmas and the Christmas season overall. Saint Stephen was one of the first deacons of the church. If you can read about it more in Acts in the Bible. He's specifically in Acts, they note that the first group of deacons, 7 deacons, was ordained to take care of widows and to distribute food and charitable aid. Saint Stephen, by this service, bore witness to Jesus and helped share love and compassion to his community. This was the role he was ordained to. The early deacons were ordained to take care of widows, distribute food, charitable aid, and distribute love to the community. Because of this bearing witness to Christ, he was ultimately killed and is remembered today as the first Christian martyr. Since those times, the role of the deacon has become more ritualized, and we play a bigger role in the liturgies Sunday to Sunday. I personally started my path towards becoming a deacon at age 6, holding candles at St. Andrew in Cupertino. Later, I learned many of the roles of the deacon at St. Gregory in Pasadena. And in 2003, I started serving here in Glendale, and where I was ordained both subdeacon and deacon in this church. During Badarach, the role of the deacon is essentially to help the priest. It is the priest's job to bring the story and light of Jesus to the people, and in doing so, to elevate the people through faith. It is the job of the deacon to help the priest do his job. 2 of the biggest ways that we do that, as you saw earlier today, is through the reading of the Bible, through the gospel, and the procession of the chalice and preparing the gifts. Another unofficial job that we have is to teach the young guys and make sure that they're continuing on their path forward. Being a deacon on the altar is one way that I've found to help serve. Besides being a great responsibility, it is also a great opportunity to connect with people wherever I've gone. By simply showing up at churches around the world, I've been able to perform in the capacity of deacon in places I've lived and traveled. Cupertino, Pasadena, Glendale, Fowler, Yetem, New York, Arizona, Argentina, and even in Armenia. And all it took on my part was walking into the church, introducing myself to the priest, and saying, I'd like to help serve. Our church in Glendale has developed an identity around being service-based, always reaching out to the community and helping people in need. Oftentimes, our help goes to Armenians, and oftentimes our help goes to whoever's in our local community. During this last Thanksgiving, we distributed food to those who were hungry, and just this last week, we distributed toys and blankets to children who would not otherwise be getting gifts. On Wednesday, we had a group that sang in the hospitals, cheering up patients who would likely spend their Christmas in a hospital. In this way, and through our programs throughout the year, our church has embodied the role of St. Stephen and the early deacons, distributing food and charitable aid to those in need. As we all go home today to celebrate Christmas, I encourage us all to not approach life with the attitude of, what will I receive, or what gifts will be given, but to approach everyday life with the attitude of the deacon and say, I'd like to serve. Thank you.